Hello, everyone. This is Vexy Roserade, otherwise known as Sammy Valentine and WTF Vexy. I want to show you the tutorial for how I get my vocals done in Undying Mind. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so let's get right to it. Let's pop this bad boy over out of minimize and let's get going. So before we actually go with processing vocals and everything like that, I do want to go over what specific setup I use. This is FL Studio, my DAW for several years now, and I'm sure some of you may know it. I'm sure a lot of you have if you're familiar with digital audio workstations, music software and all that. So we have what as follows. We have for the old sound, for the Aggrotech sound of Undying Mind's first album, To Death and Back, we have Still On. It is a free plugin. As soon as it loads up, I'll put it on screen, the name of it, and we'll go from there. So, Still On. It is a very old plugin, as you can plainly see, but it is a very useful plugin. It is a very good pitch shifter for this type of work, Aggrotech. It actually sounds pretty damn close to a lot of the processing and pitch shifters that most big name Aggrotech dark electro artists use. So these are my particular settings here. You can obviously adjust them as you however you like, but the main thing is, the main focus is you want to change the semitones ever so slightly, or however you want. So, for my particular case here, I actually leave the first semitone to 0, to nothing. So I don't alter that at all. But for the other two channels, I have it at -2, and the semitones in channel 3 at +2. So that's the main thing for that. And then for the next thing we load up is Fruity Flanger. You can use any flanger, I'm sure. I just use the default FL Studio one that just kind of works for me. So here's the settings I have for that. Delay is about mid-range. Depth is about, I'd say 75-80%, somewhere around there. It's like over 3/4, but not quite there. I can't math, sorry. But anyways, rate is kind of the same thing. Phase is at nothing. Dampness is at half, exactly half. So shape is right here, almost all the way up, almost to where that T is. You see it? Feed is at 50%. Inverted feedback is at nothing. Inverted wet is all the way on. Dryness is all the way. Wetness is almost all the way over here. And then crossfade is about half. So that's the flanger part of it. Now for the fun part. A lot of Aggrotech bands, funnily enough, they do not use straight up distortion, apparently. But I do because I have no chill. Also, there's filters and stuff in Destructor, the default distortion, one of the default apps for FL Studio. So it actually works in my favor here. So this is the settings I have. I have the distortion at abrasive here, which is kind of a thing from FL Studio as well. But these are the settings here: the preamp, gate threshold, dry wet, post gain noise. Everything except the noise is ever so slightly because you do not want to oversaturate with distortion, believe me. As in the in and out, the mix is all the way, but the in and out is about half. Again, I am ever so slightly with the distortion. You do not want to mess too much with this because it'll make you sound like crap otherwise. So, and then I have a low filter, an all-pass filter here. Cut it off all the way. Resonance is all the way. In and out is basically the opposite of these. Just a bit over halfway. So, yeah, there you go. So there is my setup for that. Now there's another setup for some songs, mostly the more emotional songs, into Death and Back, where I actually change the two plugins here. I don't change the plugins entirely. Jeez, I can. But I have a different setup for the emotional stuff, where I sing and not just scream it out. So here's that. Okay, yes, this is it. So the settings pretty much the same down below here, but the main difference is, again, the semitones. The semitones, if you notice, are only 0.5 each. Channel 2 is negative 0.5. Channel 3 is at positive 0.5. The reason for this is because I found out that if I try to sing with the normal pitch shifting, it doesn't sound good at all. So I just changed the pitch shifting about here ever so slightly, so I get the same effect without sounding like complete garbage. Flanger, I remain the same here. I do not change it at all. But for this destructor here, I use mostly the same thing, but I also use Harmer Synth Crush, which is Harmer is a plugin by FL Studio. But normally you pay for that. I don't have Harmer actually, but there's like free stuff within Harmer that you can use for this distortion here. So symmetry is a little bit right here, a little bit this way. Preamp, half, wet. Almost halfway. Filter cut all the way. Dry mix over halfway. And center is turned on, etc., etc. So this just kind of helps that out quite a bit too. So, so the vocals for most of the songs in Embrace the Beast, compression and EQ remain the same here. That adds no change. What does change is actually three things. For one thing, I don't have a flanger for this. I decided that I didn't need one for that. For the new stuff, new material. But for the pitch shifter, I do have a paid plugin. Well, you can actually get it for free. No, I'm not talking about illegitimately stealing. You can legitimately steal it. They don't really. They actually have an option. You can do that, legally steal the plugin for free. It's kind of crazy, but I prefer to pay for it because they are a really good company. They're called Freak Show Industries, and the pitch shifter I use here is none other than Dumpster Fire. So, with Dumpster Fire, it's kind of a strange plugin where you just kind of have to experiment to see what works out. I have a preset here called Industrial Metal Vocals, so I can kind of explain a little bit. They do explain what things do here a bit in their dark way, but so the cage number of bends is at 1.0. I think that's nothing. It might be slight. I don't remember exactly. Tooth is which is the pitches. That is that's at 0. Now the Aether, which generate health gates, yeah, funny, is at 16,064, kind of like a quarter there. So this has to do with the ether riser there. So the pitch spread is at 1.40, which is kind of like this here, over halfway. And ether aspect is also a quarter to the left, at 0.30. I wanted a different sound for the Aggrotech crossed over with industrial metal here. This one allows me to sing and scream. Limited on the singing just because for a lot of songs it will not sound good, but for some songs it does, especially when backed up by clean vocals. I have found it really works with that. It also works with screaming on top of that as well, either affected or without. So that's actually really cool. I like this plugin a lot. So the last thing is Destructor. I do use Destructor again for distortion, but this is the presets. This is the experimentations and presets I use. I use Blood Overdrive, which is the default FL Studio plugin. The pre-bandwidth is about half. Color is about a quarter to the left, so it's a preamp. Post gain is all the way up. Filters at nothing. Nothing over here. This is turned off. This is turned on, and the oversampling is 4 times. And then this is kind of default. There's a chorus here. Delay is all the way. Feedback is half. Speed is a quarter. So it's def. Blur is 75%. Color is half. Not much there. For the filter, I used a low pass filter this time by 12 slopes. Cutoffs all the way. Resonance is at half. And these are pretty much the same as the other ones. So it's a really cool sound. I like this sound a lot too. It's very suitable for the direction I'm heading towards. So yeah, there's many singles on the Undying Mind on Spotify, Amazon Music, etc. There's also the album To Death and Back, and then of course there's the upcoming 2 albums, Has No Chill. So here we go. So without further ado, let us bring in and record some stuff, then bring stuff in. Sound good? Sound good. Okay, so I actually forgot something. Normally I record vocals from Audacity and then I put them into FL Studio after editing everything in Audacity to further process in FL Studio. One thing, I forgot that I can just do live vocals here. because I have everything plugged in. Kind of funny that.
Hello everyone! This is Betsy Rosary, otherwise known as Sammy Valentine and WDF Betsy! Alright, so that's the scream, everyone. Obviously, I'm very disordered, so this is the Death and Back's signature vocal processing. Yes. So, let's move on to the singing stuff. As soon as I the processing in here. Hello, this is Betsy Rosary, otherwise known as Sammy Valentine. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Not the best, I know, but anyway, certain songs and calls for this, and it sounds really freaking cool. So, yeah, I like this a lot. Well, hello everyone! This is Betsy Rosary, otherwise known as Sammy Valentine and WDF Betsy! So this is what you're hearing throughout the new album, which is, Embrace the Beast. Right. Embrace the beast. Alright. So, yeah. I'm in love with this. I'm in love with the sound. So, let's end this video after I'm all done here. And here we go.
Well, that was it for the video. So, if you enjoyed that, give it a like, subscribe, all that jazz. Notifications, ring the bell, that sort of thing. So, yeah, that's it. Bye for now.